I welcome all of you. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir. Audible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, very grateful to all of you and for giving me the opportunity today. So, Devananda Chaitanya Prabhu was supposed to give, but he became ill yesterday, a little bit. Take some rest today. All of you have to tolerate me today. So, anyways, so I welcome all of you to today's session. Conditions. So this 3C stands for condition, conditionings, and virtual competition. So I am going to cover today about the middle part, conditionings. Condition and virtual competition will be done next week. So I will today discuss about this middle part, conditionings. So, what does this conditioning mean? So, I think all of you have, at least some of you have attended the seminar on power of habits. So, it is similar to that. Yeah, sound is clear? Yes, I think some of you are not able to hear. Some of you are asking that sound is not clear. Now it's clear? Hello, yeah. Is it coming clear to all of you? Sound? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Actually, some of you may be facing difficulty. Some of you are writing that sound is not clear. So on my side I'm trying. So maybe due to internet issues. So yeah, I'm telling conditionings. So conditionings, it is related to our habits. So how we are conditioned in this material world, that is in itself, this material world, we are all struggling. There is struggle always in this material world. This material world is meant for suffering. So Krishna, who has created this material world, and the living entities who are coming from the spiritual world, and they are getting entangled in the material, and they are struggling very hard. So the soul wants to enjoy in this material world. This is the tendency of the soul, and it is also a natural position of the soul to enjoy. In the spiritual world, the soul is enjoying in the association of the Supreme Lord, Krishna. But when he is coming to the material world, forgetting Krishna, he is coming to the material world. At that time, that same tendency is there to enjoy. But spiritual world is the place of, it is the actual place of enjoyment, natural place of enjoyment. But when the soul is coming to the material world, he is trying to enjoy separately from Krishna. Forgetting Krishna, he is trying to enjoy. And that is actually not possible. Forgetting Krishna, the soul can never be happy, or the soul can never actually enjoy. And the soul is entangled more and more. We have seen about the law of karma, how the soul is entangled in the material world under the law of karma. Similarly, the soul is conditioned in this material world, and he is entangled in various ways in this material world. So, today, with respect to conditioning, we will see that what are these things which makes it puts a shackle in us. Just like a prisoner when he is in the jail. When the prisoner is in the jail at that time, he is shackled in so many ways. He is handcuffed. He is not allowed to go here and there. He is made to put in a certain cell. So many, he is subjected to that jail. So this material world is actually it is also a jail. But this is not a jail like the ordinary jails that we see in the world. But this jail, material world jail, is a very, very amazing jail. So nobody wants to get out of this jail. This is the most mysterious thing. So in a normal jail, the prisoners will want to get out. They are making many plans. In the cinemas, there are many cinemas. How the jail inmate he went out of the jail by digging a tunnel, this and that. So many films around that. So people try to get out of the normal jail, but this material world, it is an amazing jail. Man can create normal jail, but Krishna, the Supreme Lord, can create amazing jail like this material world, from where nobody wants to go out. Nobody makes any endeavor to go out to the material world and go to the spiritual world. So, I'm sharing the PPT. Can all of you see the screen conditions? Is it coming into your screen? Hello? Hello? Are you able to see, all of you, the PPT? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, conditionings. So basically, if we see it in practical terms, it relates to our habits mainly. So habits, there is a proverb that habits are like habits are like the tail of the dog. huh? The tail of the dog, how much we try to, we try to make the tail of the dog straight, but it again becomes bent. So we have lots of habits that is there from our childhood only. Lot of habits we have developed over the years, and we are getting conditioned by these habits. These are the conditionings on us. So habit is actually, a practice. Habit is actually a practice that is hard to give up. It develops and it goes right into our system. It is very difficult to change that. Just like, going to sleep. It's very difficult now, if you see the people in general, and especially if you see the youth in general. When do they go to sleep? Generally 2 a.m. in the night. That has become you can say, the new normal. People go to sleep, specifically the youths nowadays, when they are outside, when they are in the hostel. So when they go to sleep in general, 2 a.m. in the night. So now if it is told that, okay, you sleep at 10 p.m. So will you be able to sleep at 10 p.m. in the night? Yes. In one go, it is very difficult. In one go, it is quite difficult. But by practice, slowly, it's a gradual process. If you want to make our habits proper, it's a gradual process. It is not a very quick thing. It is not that cheap thing, easy thing. So it's a gradual process. So Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita about this practice, abhyasa. So when we see our mind, if we talk about our mind, so the conditionings are there in the mind specifically. Our mind, when we try to concentrate on something, our mind it doesn't go in that direction, and always it is very, very chanchal. It's always going here and there. So we have these conditions, these habits, which are mainly which is into our mind. Mind has a big role to play with respect to these conditions. So habits also have various categories. There are mainly 3 categories. If we see these 3 categories, some habits are simple habits. Some habits are serious habits. And some habits are brave habits. Very, very serious habits. So, and whatever habit we develop and whatever conditioning we develop, we become enslaved. We become the slave of those habits. So, if we develop good habit, that is good. That is not going to make us, it's not going to harm us. Good habits will not harm us. But bad habits will actually harm us. Whether the implication of those bad habits, whether it is the result will come shortly or the result may come after some time, but the result will be there. The immediate, some bad habits, the results may not be immediate, but other bad habits, the results may be immediate also, but it is going to harm us. That is question. So simple, if we say simple bad habits, let's say sometimes nail biting, this and that, simple bad habits. It's a serious bad habits, like say drinking cigarette, alcohol. These are serious bad habits, and these are going to have effect in the long run. That is for sure. So it's quite a serious thing. And the more quickly we give it up, the more better it is. So this also are serious bad habits. The grave bad habits. Somebody has habit of, say, stealing. Somebody has habit of किसी को पकड़ के पूरा एकदम physically assaulting someone. So that is very grave. Somebody who is going to the prostitutes. He is grave. Serious chance that he can develop HIV at any time. That is grave. So, these are three categories of bad habits. And these are only a few examples. There are so many examples. But whatever be the category, the result is not going to be good. And we will have to also understand that how we are entangled within this network of bad habits. We have to understand that how we are getting entangled in it. And the main role in that is with respect to the mind. And more above that, the most important thing is that if we are trying artificially, if we are trying to give up bad habit, then it will not be successful. It will not be successful in a long term. For example, many people take the New Year resolution. Almost everyone will take New Year resolution. नए साल से, from the New Year, I will not take any cigarette. People take like that resolutions. But that resolution remains resolutions. There is no solution. In reality, the result is not there. Again, he is entangled in those habits. For 2 days, he may refrain. Again, he is entangled in those habits. So, bad habits can only be given up when you engage our mind spiritually. That has to be understood very very proper way. So, if you see the examples from the scriptures, the Shastras, and also in our practical life also, this spiritual science is so powerful. The science of Bhagavad Gita and the science of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is so powerful that just by coming in contact with that, we can automatically give up so much in all our patterns. No artificial endeavor is actually required. Simply we have to engage our mind in a spiritual way. And the best process is recommended in this age, Kali Yuga. The best process of engaging the mind and the most essential, not only the best. Best means there are many options and that is the best. It is not only the best process, but it is also the most essential process in this Kali Yuga, in this age, in this dark age of Kali Yuga. And that process is to engage the mind spiritually by chanting the Hare Krishna. This is not only the best, but it is the most essential also. And those of you who are chanting this Hare Krishna mantra, you must have been realizing it. You yourself must have been realizing it. Many of you are chanting regularly, and nobody will have to tell you. You can yourself realize. Nobody will have to give you certificate that you have developed this good habit, or you have developed this control of the mind, etc., etc. You can yourself realize. One who has ate a gulab jamun, nobody will have to tell him. He will himself realize that he has eaten gulab jamun and how tasty it is. So, by practicing this spiritual science, we can understand, and we can understand from ourselves only. So, therefore, we need to understand that we are getting entangled by these habits. Just like a spider actually makes the waves, cobwebs, and it is a very big network for the spider. But how the spider dies? Spider ultimately dies by getting entangled in that cobweb which was made by that spider. So, similarly, in our life also, we develop from our childhood and from youthhood, and throughout our life, we develop so many wrong habits, and these are the conditionings for us. And ultimately, we get entangled in that, and we are in great danger by getting entangled in those bad habits. So the spider is also not able to realize it at the beginning. So he is making the problems. But ultimately, these cobwebs are it becomes the cables, and it entangles the spider, and it is gone by that cobweb. So, effect of habit. So, can any one of you read this slide? I'm asking who will read. Okay. Devobrata Saha. Can you hear me? Devobrata? Hello? Devobrata Saha.
Yes, sir. হ্যাঁ শুনতে পারছি।
So can you read this slide?
Effects of habit. Habit affects one's destiny. Show a thought, reap an action. Saw a action, reap a habit. Saw a habit, reap a character. And saw a character, reap a destiny.
So, so it is starting with thought. Whatever we are thinking, it will be converted into action. If you think about one thing, repeatedly if you think about one thing, one day you will surely act in that. Thought leads to action. Action. If we are doing one action, repeatedly we are doing that action, it will lead to habit. Then it becomes a habit. And habit, if we are repeatedly engaged in that habit, then that will come to our character. For example, one who must develop a habit of using slang language. One who has developed the habit of using slang language. So he is repeatedly using that, which has become a habit. And then that becomes his character. It goes deep inside. That becomes this character. People will identify that this character is not proper. And when it is going into the character, then it will lead to his destiny for sure. He has to face the consequences of that. Destiny means that ultimate thing which consequence of his actions. So this destiny will be bad. So everything starts with the thought. This thought is very important. And thought comes in the mind. Therefore, it is very essential to engage our mind. If our mind is engaged in wrong activities, then we should pull off our mind from wrong activities and engage our mind in proper spiritual activities and activities which are needed for us. So that is the starting point. Thought, thinking, whatever is going on to the mind. Intoxications, various kinds of intoxications are there which entangles us in a very deep way. Various types of drugs. Intoxication. Intoxication means what? Nasha. Nasha. So when one is taking intoxication, then by consuming intoxicants, your mind is not your own anymore. The mind loses control. in different times. People take intoxicants and sometimes they commit crime. They commit crime in an intoxicated state. People in deep state of intoxication, he does so many wrong things. And when he comes out of that intoxication zone, and he then understands that how much dangerous thing I have done. Because at that time, his mind is not his own anymore. He has no control over mind at all at that time. His intelligence does not work at all during that time. And he does grave mistakes. So, therefore, we are suffering. We are suffering by developing different intoxicating habits. So, that was the gross intoxication, like taking cigarettes, like taking wine, like taking drugs, many other things like that. So, this is gross intoxication. And there are many subtle intoxications also within our life. And that subtle intoxication, that is the direct intoxication of the mind. These intoxications like cigarette, drugs, wine, it has to be taken through the body, it has to be taken through the mouth. It's gross. But there are many subtle intoxications which are directly fed to the mind. And those subtle intoxications are the intoxications coming through internet. And all of us can understand it. Today is the day of computers. Today is the age of computers. There is no doubt about it. Today is the age of internet. There is no doubt about it. But this age is also the age of internet addiction also. And so many things, so many wrong activities can be done through the internet. One can make a list of it and there will be no limit of that list. There will be hundreds of things in that list. So, specifically, pornography. Pornography is the greatest internet addiction, especially amongst the youth, and the most dangerous internet addiction, dangerous form of internet addiction. I will discuss about this topic in more details later in another program, but I'm just touching on those points. That is most harmful. Secondly, many other addictions of different social networking things. These are needed, no doubt. Things like WhatsApp, Facebook. There is need nowadays, almost. Yeah, there is need of WhatsApp. But the thing is that there is need of YouTube also. Need is there. But when it goes to that addiction zone, then it leads to a very bad consequence. That we will have to understand. Like, for example, to see Facebook. So, yeah, you have a Facebook account, okay, have your friends. But when you are spending so much time unnecessarily, and these are addictive, really addictive. It has been programmed in such a way that it is addictive. And the more time you spend, the more money the company is getting. The more time you spend in Facebook, the more time the Facebook company, the more money Mark Zuckerberg is getting. And that is why the programs are made in such a way that you remain addicted. Because people don't care about your future. The companies don't care about your future. They only care about their own pocket. That is the thing. The cigarette companies, they are killing millions of people every year by the help of cancer. They are killing millions of people every year. But have they stopped their business? आंखों के सामने पर्दा डाल देता है, मेरा पॉकेट फिल होना चाहिए, आदमी मरे चाहे ना मरे क्या फर्क पड़ता है. People who are dying out of cancer, it is way more than coronavirus. Coronavirus is killing in thousands. Have the cigarette companies stopped? Have the wine companies stopped? They only see their own. And this is the nature of the material world also. In the material world, the relations are exploitative. You as a customer, I as a company, I want to exploit you as a customer. That is the only thing. Exploitation. The moment there is no advantage for his own selfish agenda, then there is no relationship also at that time. The relationships are shellfish in this material world. But the spiritual world, the philosophy is completely opposite. The philosophy of the spiritual world and the philosophy of the material world is completely opposite. Philosophy of the material world is that जब तक मेरा स्वार्थ है, तब तक तू मेरा दोस्त है. जब मेरा स्वार्थ खत्म हो गया, तुम्हारा साथ भी दोस्ती खत्म. सब कुछ स्वार्थ से मापा जाता है मटेरियल वर्ल्ड. लेकिन स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड में चीज पूरा उल्टा है. स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड में अपना स्वार्थ देखना मना है. अपना स्वार्थ का कुछ नामो निशान तक नहीं रहता. और वही लोग स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड जा सकते हैं जो पूरी अपना स्वार्थ का विचार से जो रहित. Spiritual world means to love and serve God and each other. And God, Krishna is also serving his devotees. Devotees are serving Krishna and Krishna is serving devotees. there is a competition of service in the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, there is no question of exploitation. And if we are trying to develop these qualities to go to the spiritual world, then one has to also act in that way. One gives up his own selfish interests and try to work for the interest of Krishna and for the interest of everyone. And the best way of helping others is to connect them with Krishna. So that is the ultimate help. That is the ultimate help for us. So when we connect with Krishna, when we connect with the Supreme Lord, then all the good things automatically come in our life. The satisfaction that we are looking for comes in our life. He is happy not only in this life, but after this life he goes back to the spiritual world to be with the Supreme Lord and his associates eternally. No more a need of coming to the material world. No more any obligation to coming to this suffering-full material world. And that is what Bhagavad Gita and Subhamaya. The scriptures are given us for that reason, that only purpose. So, we are addicted and we are entangled. And this entanglement is leading to suffering. बहुत कष्ट झेलना पड़ता है. Tremendous suffering का मंजर चालू होता है. And this suffering, we are not happy by that suffering. Many people tell that, okay, why don't you adjust with the material world? Why don't you adjust in this material? Okay, you adjust. You can adjust, but then why are you not happy when the disturbances are there? When there is so many, why are you then suffering? Why don't you enjoy? You are suffering and you don't like suffering. And you are telling to adjust. This material world is not a place for adjusting. No matter how much we adjust, we cannot be happy. And we need happiness. The soul needs that real satisfaction. That is the eternal need of the soul. So, that environment, that natural environment for the soul is the spiritual world. This material world is foreign environment for the soul. एक मछली को पानी से कोई निकाल देता है, लैंड पे उसको लाता है. So that is a foreign environment for the fish. That is not a natural environment for the fish. The natural environment for the fish is water. Therefore, you need to understand that you cannot adjust in this. The fish, how much it tries to adjust in the land, will he ever be able to adjust? Never possible. You give the fish every facility. You keep the fish in a 5-star hotel, but still the fish will be unhappy with the land. You will have ocean, you will have to live in the water. So, everything starts from our thought and mind. So, cycle of habit formation. How the habits are formed? There are many sense objects. Many sense objects are there. And the mind is thinking about those sense objects. And thoughts are generating. And association. By associating with different type of people of this world, different materialistic people of the world, one develops desire. One develops desires. When you associate with certain kind of people, whatever desire they have, that same desire will come to you also. That has to happen. If you associate with people who regularly go to the prostitutes, you will also develop that desire to go to the prostitutes. By association, we develop the desire. That is why there is a Hindi program. Jaisa sang, vaisa ram. So, and when you develop and when you associate with spiritual persons, then you develop the desire to go back to the spiritual world. You develop the desire to practice spiritual life. Desires come out of association. So, thoughts and desires, these are developed in the mind. And whatever thoughts and whatever desires we develop, according to that, there are actions. We perform actions according to that. And there are reactions to it. Whatever be our action, there will be reaction. Reaction may come this life, or it may come in next life, or after many lives also it can come. Or the reaction can come immediately also. But reaction is must. Action means there will be reaction. That is for sure. And then reaction, due to reaction, there will be pains. If the reaction is bad, there will be pains. So bad actions will lead to bad reactions, and there will be pain. And if the good actions are there, then it will lead to temporary pleasures also. So, these pains and pleasures, good action will lead to pleasures and bad action will lead to pains. But both of these pains and pleasures, both of them are temporary. So, we have to transcend both good action and bad action. And we will have to transcend our action to spiritual action, which is above both good action and bad action. Good action will temporarily lead to some good facilities. But that is also will not satisfy us. It will entangle us also in the material world. It will not free us from the cycle of birth and death. So, we have to go above good action and bad action. And we have to come to spiritual action. That will lead to the permanent solution. And this youth time is the most important time to develop these things. Because whatever things we develop, we cannot change it in the middle age. In the middle age, it is not possible to change. Whatever habits are developed in the early time of the life, that will remain with us. Later on, we cannot change. Even if we want, we cannot change. It becomes very difficult to change. Sometimes you see old people in your mohalla. You see old people. You give them some good advice. Maybe some old people is doing something wrong. It's a little wrong thing they are doing. You give him some good advice. Immediately they will tell you, don't give me advice. Immediately they will reject your advice. When if you are giving good advice with respect, still they will immediately throw away that. Because they cannot change in their old age. Not possible. So, see this. So, as I was telling, that this mind is very critical. Before that, this one. So, we have to make the choice. We have to make the choice. And the scriptures, the Vedic scriptures, Bhagavad Gita especially, is making the things very clear. Bhagavad Gita is showing two paths. Here there is, in this slide there are three paths, but Bhagavad Gita is showing two paths. There is no third path. Either one can lead a life remembering Krishna, one can lead spiritual life, or he can live a life forgetting Krishna, leading a non-spiritual life, forgetting the Supreme Lord. These are the only two options available. No third option is available. And what will be the result? That is also given in Bhagavad Gita. If you lead spiritual life, if you choose spiritual life, if you choose Krishna, then it may seem like poison at the beginning, but it will be nectar at the end. पहले तो बहुत कठिन लगेगा, बहुत पहले बहुत, it will be like poison in the beginning. बहुत कठिन लग सकता है, but it will be nectar at the end. बाद में जाके वो अमृत हो जाएगा. And the other path, a life which is without completely forgetting Krishna, completely forgetting spiritual life, and thinking only about sense gratification, that will be nectar at the beginning, but poison at the end. Initially, बहुत nectarian लगेगा. Initially कितना लोग देखते हैं ना, कितना लोग सोचता है कि वाह मेरा सब कुछ हो गया, but they realize it at the end. Initially it will be like nectar, अमृत जैसा. अरे चलो भगवान को भूल गया, कृष्ण को भूल गया, कितना एंजॉय कर रहा है. Initially it will be like nectar, but it will be poison at the end. आखिर में जाके बहुत ज्यादा विषैला एक्सपीरियंस होते हैं, पॉइजनस एक्सपीरियंस एंड डेंजरस एक्सपीरियंस consequence. So spiritual life, poison at the beginning, nectar at the end. And material life, non-spiritual life, forgetting Krishna, nectar at the beginning but poison at the end. Spiritual life थोड़ा कष्ट लगेगा पहले पहले, थोड़ा कष्ट लगेगा. चैंटिंग करना पड़ता है, चैंटिंग थोड़ा कष्ट लगता है. It will be struggle, quite struggle, yes, struggle is there. Struggle तो है. चैंटिंग करने के टाइम माइंड इधर उधर चल जाता है, माइंड को स्ट्रगल करके लेके आओ, लगाओ चैंटिंग में, स्ट्रगल तो है, but one practices will be nectar at the end. So that we have to choose, and it is dependent on one's free will. अपना इच्छा के ऊपर है, उसको फ्री विल का ऊपर है। भगवान सबको फ्री विल दे दिया है, और फ्री विल में भगवान कभी भी हस्तक्षेप नहीं करते। फ्री विल में कोई टच नहीं करता। भगवान कभी भी किसी से जबरदस्ती कुछ नहीं करेगा। जबरदस्ती उसको सरेंडर करना ही है भगवान के पास, जबरदस्ती ऐसा नहीं करना। भगवान फ्री विल दे दिया। फ्री विल इज गिवन टू एवरी सोल। आउट ऑफ दीज टू पाथ्स वन यू कैन चूज। Either you go to spiritual world or remain in material world. That is the choice of the individual soul. That is eternally given. The choice is eternally given to the individual soul, and nobody can touch this choice. This is personal decision. It is personal choice. He has to make this choice, whether I want to go to spiritual world or whether I want to be in the material world. That is his personal choice. Even God does not, even Krishna does not interfere in that free will. But whatever he chooses, he has to face his consequences. He is responsible for his own choice. Nobody else will take responsibility for his choice. So, if we choose Krishna, then we will be the winner at the end. That's for sure. So mind is like a book. And these books, this mind is filled with different thoughts. Different thoughts, desires, expectations, so many, these are always running in the mind. Just like a book has so many pages, so many words. And the scripts of the mind are written by these four ways. By the books we write, books we read. According to that, the scripts are written. The movies we see, the videos we see, that is writing our mental script. If we are always watching violence, then that will also lead to violence. The music we listen, songs which are we listening to, that makes the mental script. And the friends we keep, yes, that makes the mental script. These four are the most powerful. The books we read, the movies we see, the music we listen, and the friends we keep. That makes the mental script. So, of course, you need to study your college subjects. Definitely, that is your need. Or need, if you are doing, there is no problem. You need to study your college subjects nicely to get a job. There is only one goal of studying engineering: to get a good job. That's it. There is no other goal. And you have to be practically knowing about that. Whatever you are studying, whether you are studying law or engineering or medical or arts, whatever you are studying, ultimately you have to get a good job, isn't it? You have to be good in your profession, get a good job. And that is your need. That is okay, no problem. That is not a problem. For your need, if you are having to do something, that is not a problem. But apart from that, if you study books like Bhagavad Gita and these discussions, which you are hearing, these discussions on Bhagavad Gita, based on Bhagavad Gita, then that will lead to proper destination. So, for our spiritual benefit, we should take in the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we should take in the knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam. And in other time, you can study your college books, engineering study books nicely. That is your duty also. So, if you are balancing this in nice way, it is very good. You will lead to a very good destination. But if you are reading books which are filled with vulgar things, then that will write a bad mental script. If you are reading books which are useless, actually, no nothing for mundane entertainment, you are reading those kinds of comics and all these things, that will lead to not only a waste of time, but will lead to wrong mental script. The movies we see, very important. The movies makes a great mental script. There are so many nice spiritual movies also. Slowly that will be given to all of you. Why don't be given? The things which we are watching in form of videos, that's right, a very big mental script. Therefore, be careful of it. Music that we listen, that is also right in mental script. And the friends, yes, definitely. So, if we are putting garbage in our mind, then garbage will come out. That will be, the result will be dangerous. So we should not put garbage in our mind. We should be careful. Sustain and abstain method of these habits. It is having 3 S. S, S, and S. So, can anyone read this slide? Who wants to read? Yes? Anyone of you? Anyone of you?
I will read, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can you present? Sir, sustain and abstain method. Starve bad habits. Abstain from bad people and bad objects. Supplement good habits. Sustain with good association and good objects. Sustain through introspection and self-correction. Stay away from tempting environment and association. Thank you, sir.
So, first S is starve bad habits. Not to indulge in bad habits. It is easier said than done. It is easier said than done. So that starving, abstain from bad people and bad objects. Definitely, in this world, one can easily understand that which objects are not good for you, which objects are good for you. Which people are not good for you, which people are good for you. That is also there. There is nothing to hide. So, starving. That starving, you can only do when you are engaging your mind in spiritual and you are getting that taste from spiritual things. Then only you can start. Artificially, It's not possible. Just एक दिन resolution ले लिया. Just one day we take resolution that I will not do these bad habits. By this artificial endeavor, it will never happen. It will only be an effect for some time. It will never be the ultimate. But if we are engaging our mind in spiritual activities, especially chanting in the morning, then you can see that you are able to starve bad habits. Slowly. That also slowly. The effect will not come in one day. Everything is gradual. Every positive thing is gradual. It is not a magic. So we need to be very careful about this. Supplement good habits. Sustain with good association. Good association is spiritual association. Good objects, spiritual objects. There are so many spiritual engagements. If there would have been no coronavirus, then we could have given you so many opportunities for engaging in so many other spiritual activities. But because there is lockdown, because there is coronavirus, and people are locked in the room, everyone is locked in their houses. So that opportunity is not very much available right now. Only through these seminars, you are getting that opportunity. And from chanting. These are the only two main opportunities you are getting. Other opportunities you could have got, but that opportunity has been restricted by coronavirus. So, spiritual life is actually very blissful. And stay away from tempting environment and association. Some associations and some environments are tempting. As generally in hostels, what happens? When anybody buys a laptop, first thing that they do is watch pornography. And when the environment is tempting, then automatically someone who is not interested also, he will also be tempted. Let's see what is going on in this environment. Temptation, tempting. That environment matters, that association matters. So, therefore, staying away from tempting environment and association. And there is the 5D formula. The most exhilarating, if you actually can get rid of one bad habit, that is a very, it's a very happiness comes if one can give up some bad habit. It's difficult, the process is difficult. But if someone, if someone achieves the result, if someone gets to the result, then he is very happy. He feels a lot of happiness. Because it was not easy. And you need help. You need the help. Alone you cannot do it. There also you can see that he is helping him. He is climbing up the hill. A lot of hard work, but he is getting help. And when he reaches the hill, his feelings very happy. So this 5D formula is desire. First is desire. Desire is very important. I have to develop spiritual habits. First thing is this choice. You will have to choose that yes, I want to be, I want to practice spiritual life. Seriously, that is your choice first. Nobody can choose for you. You will have to take the decision. So that desire is first thing. That is the main thing also. And then discriminate by intelligence, sharpen the intelligence. by hearing and reading. ये जो आप लोग सुन रहे हैं every week सेमिनार्स होता है बहुत एसेंशियल, पूरा वीक के लिए बहुत एसेंशियल है. Every week is to be attended regularly and sharpen कर रहे हैं भगवद गीता का जो भी चीज है श्रीमद् भागवतम करो sharpens the intellect. दूसरा कोई भी व्यक्ति normal people will they ever give you good things? Will they ever tell you good things? Will they ever tell you something which is benefiting you? They will never. You can go around the city of Calcutta. You can go around the city of Calcutta for 1 month. You will never find one people also who will giving you good advice for your benefit. People are ready to exploit. People are not ready to help others. People are not ready to give good to others. People are not ready to benefit others. People are ready to exploit others, and that is the nature of the material world. So it is very rare to find spiritual association. ऐसा एक संघ मिलना जहाँ पे जो स्पिरिचुअल एसोसिएशन मिलना जो आपका बेटरमेंट के लिए बोल रहा है वो मिलना बहुत रेयर है. लोग बैठा है कैसे आपको एक्सप्लॉइट करके अपना पॉकेट भरे, और यही है दुनिया का नेचर. इससे सरप्राइज होने का कोई बात नहीं. कहीं पर भी चल जाइए, हॉस्पिटल चल जाइए, बैठा है कैसे आपको एक्सप्लॉइट करके पॉकेट भरे बैठा है. Normal other business centers you also do. People are ready to kill their own advantage at first. People are ready to exploit. And even if they do something good to you, even if they are doing their duty and they are doing something good to you, but they will not do it out of free. They are not going to do it freely. You have to give money. So, सब ये दुनिया का नेचर ही है. स्वार्थ के बिना कोई कुछ काम नहीं करता है. बट स्पिरिचुअल जो वर्ल्ड है वो अलग, पूरा उल्टा, completely opposite. And somebody who is trying to follow the spiritual principles, even being in the material world, he will also be selfless. So, your seniors are trying to give you the spiritual knowledge. This spiritual association is trying to give you the spiritual knowledge and to help you and for your betterment only. Nobody is getting here money by giving time to all of you. There is no question of any money, because this is the principle of the spiritual world that we are trying to follow, and there is no question of self-interest. There is no question of self-interest on one selfish agenda. There is no question of that. The spiritual principle is that when one connects with Krishna, he will be happy. That is the real social service. That is the real social work, actual social work, to make the people connect with Krishna. Because that is the only way by which they will be actually satisfied. That is what we are trying to help the society. And if you take to the spiritual life seriously, And we can also see it by our own. Nobody will have to come and just to give you a certificate. No? You yourself will understand that how beautiful is this spiritual life. By practicing only, you yourself will be able to understand. So that discrimination is very important. You have to understand the difference between spiritual association and material association. Spiritual association will lead us to the proper destination. Material association will take us down. We have to discriminate. And we have to deal according to that in the proper way. Hard thing is determination. There will be challenges, there will be difficulties. Which great person in the world, he has not faced any challenge, he has not faced any difficulty in his life? Nobody, no successful person, materially successful person also I am talking about. Everybody struggle. There were obstacles. Obstacles was there. Even for normal, even for ordinary material success also, one has to go through a lot of hurdles and lot of difficulties. And what to talk about spiritual success? Barriers may come. Barriers and difficulties may come and will come. Not only may come. For doing anything good, even for doing something materially good also, there are barriers and there are difficulties. But one who can overcome that and continue that, he is the real person to respect. Therefore, determination. Determination is very important. Whilst practicing spiritual life, many people will discourage you. But anyways, no matter whatever you do, there will be discouragement. For doing anything good, spiritual or material, there will always be discouragement. So not to be discouraged by that. Keeping the determination is important. No, I know this is the right path, I will go there. I will go in that path, no matter what. Determination is very important. And dependence, association is very important. Akela nahi hoga. Spiritual life doesn't happen alone. Association is necessary. Therefore, we have to take the guidance very, very seriously. Whatever guidance, whatever things are told, if one follows very nicely, then he will be really progressing. That dependency is very important. Nobody in the world could become successful alone, even for material success. Sachin Tendulkar, if he did not have a coach like his coach, then he would not have been Sachin Tendulkar. Similarly, for spiritual success also, even for material success, we need association. So what we talk about spiritual success? We cannot do it alone. We need association, we need help, we need to take guidance. That is relationship. And the fifth thing is de-addict. We have to be attached to constructive habits, yoga. And for this age, the process of yoga is Bhakti Yoga. That is, Bhakti Yoga means this chanting of the Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. This is the most primary. Other things are also there. Many other spiritual activities are also there. But this is the most primary. And in this lockdown time, in this scenario, that is expected from all of you. To take the process of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra and regularly sharpen the intelligence by coming in this association through this online medium. And thereby, just by doing these two activities nicely, you will see that you can easily break the shackles of a lot of bad habits, most of the bad habits. And slowly, you will give up all bad habits very easily. It's not a very difficult thing. So spiritual engagement is very important. So I'm ending here today. It's small. So I request all of you to chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day. Very nice. Seniors, Akshay is very nicely guiding you and take his guidance. And as you all of people have been doing, attending this online classes every Sunday, that is very, very essential to sharpen our intelligence. So, ending with this note, thank all of you very much for your patient hearing, giving the valuable time, patience. So, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So thank you, Shubhaksen sir, for your valuable time. So if anyone has questions, they can ask. But before that, I will just do one short announcement one time. So can you all see my screen? I saw that most of you came late, so we're unable to see this thing. So, we'll be having this Utkarsha festival.
Hare Krishna, Akshay, this
yeah.
Wanted to tell one.
Yeah.
So I have to leave. I have to be a little busy. So I will take one question. Then you can do your announcement because I have to leave. Some work is there. So I will take one question, one or two questions.
Yeah, sure, sir.
So let me complete that at first. So yes, I will first like to take some questions. Maybe some of you may be having questions. So you can ask if you have any queries, then you can ask.
Sir, what should be the ratio of spiritual life and material life for us?
একটু কেটে কেটে যাচ্ছ, আরেকবার বলুন।
What should be the ratio of spiritual life and material life for us?
What should be the recipe? কি বলবো ওই ওয়ার্ডটা আরেকবার বলুন।
Ratio.
হ্যাঁ?
Ratio.
Ratio. Oh, আচ্ছা আচ্ছা। Ratio. Okay. Okay, good question. See, we have to balance. Everything in life cannot be judged by mathematics. We have to understand that. Yes, of course, we, as engineering students, mathematics is an essential part of engineering. But life is always not ruled by mathematics. So it's not about ratio, but it's about balancing. You have to balance. Like for example, now all of you are in home, and all of you are, all of you are students mostly. Now what you should do for your spiritual activity. For your spiritual activity, you should all chant Hare Krishna in the morning time. Also in other time of the day also you can chant. Whatever rounds that you are chanting, be fixed on that. That is the most essential spiritual activity. So for spiritual thing, you are giving time for chanting in the morning. You can also chant for some time in the evening also, according to the rounds that you are chanting. And that's the most essential part in spiritual life. And after that, you study for your own college studies. You do it nicely. But only thing is that generally what happens that generally people waste their time. They are going for studies. They are sitting with the book, but instead of studying, they are doing Facebook. Facebook में ही 3 घंटा चला गया, 3.5 घंटा चला गया. Both ways there is problem. First thing is that उसका जो need है कॉलेज स्टडी, उसमें भी वो उसको ना करके वो फेसबुक चलाते रहा, और दूसरा कुछ मान लीजिए, दूसरा कुछ सोशल नेटवर्किंग, दूसरा कुछ टाइम वेस्ट कर दिया वो हैबिट के कारण. And is also wasting his valuable spiritual time also. So both ways he is losing. Due to bad habits, both ways he is actually in a loss. So you can keep time. Yes, if you want to have this social networking time, you keep a time. You make a routine. In your life, you make a routine. That okay, ठीक है. हम 4 बजे से 5 बजे हम जो भी अपना जो सोशल नेटवर्किंग का टाइम है वो हम दें. ठीक है. जो भी नीड है, everything should be balanced, and you will have to make that routine in your life. That is spiritual life के लिए अभी आपको चैंटिंग करना है डेली, और हर एक रविवार को आपको ये सेमिनार्स अटेंड करना है. That is the only thing expected from you, spiritual thing expected from you right now. ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं एक्सपेक्ट किया हुआ. एवरीडे चैंटिंग के लिए कितना टाइम है? एक राउंड चैंटिंग के लिए 8 से 10 मिनट लगते हैं. Morning only the best time is there. So in the morning you chant your rounds and do your work. Somebody is working in company, so from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. he can work nicely, no problem. It's good. He should do his duty, whether he is working from home or in the office. Okay, very good. But the point is that हम लोग bad habits के कारण आधा टाइम हम लोग वेस्ट कर देते हैं, अपना दिन का और अपना जीवन का, दोनों ही. We waste our valuable time by engaging in wrong activities and by developing wrong habits. और ना तो हम लोग का spiritual benefit करता है, ना तो हम लोग का कोई material benefit करता है. पूरा ही चीज वेस्ट होता है, पूरा ही चीज हम लोग का नुकसान होता है. So that is the balancing act. So did it answer your question, Debojyoti?
Yes, sir.
So it's 12:30, so I'll have to leave. I'm not able to take any other question because I'm little busy. Yeah. বলো.
প্রভু একটা কোশ্চেন ছিল প্রভু, লাস্ট একটা কোশ্চেন আমার.
ঠিক আছে, নিয়ে নিচ্ছি, বলো.
প্রভু বলছি ওই যে যোগের কথা যেটা বললেন, যোগ এবং চ্যান্টিং এর মাধ্যমে আমরা কি সত্যি ভগবানের সাথে যুক্ত হতে পারি?
Okay. So Bhagavad Gita is telling about 3 kinds of yogas. One is karma yoga, one is jnana yoga, and another is bhakti yoga. And this bhakti yoga is the means by which we can understand Krishna and we can realize Krishna and go to Krishna in the spiritual world. Go back to Krishna in the spiritual world. Now this question that when you practice this chanting, you yourself will realize. Many times क्या होता है कि मेरा कुछ कॉलीग्स बोलता है, कोई नॉर्मल पीपल भी बोलता है कि अरे चैंटिंग जो है प्रोसेस वो एक तुम लोग का आविष्कार है, वो एक इन्वेंशन है, डिस्कवरी है, बोलता है चैंटिंग तुम लोग का एक डिस्कवरी है, बस उसके वही बोल देते हो कि उससे करने से भगवान मिल जाएगा, वही तुम लोग ऐसे ही अफवाह फैला देते हो और ये सब तुम लोग करते हो ताकि मतलब लोग खराब काम ना करे, थोड़ा डरे रहे और अच्छा काम करे, बुरा काम ना करे, चोरी ना करे, डकैती ना करे, लुटेरा ना बने, और बुरा चीज ना करे, अच्छा चीज करे, बस यही डराने के लिए तुम लोग ये सब बोल देते हो, अफवाह फैला देते हो। तो हम एक ही क्वेश्चन करते हैं तुम लोग, ठीक है तुम एक मंत्र आविष्कार करो ना, आज तुम 100 IITian को एंगेज करो और तुम अपना एक मंत्र को आविष्कार करो और फिर पूरा दुनिया को अट्रैक्ट करके दिखाओ। आज ये हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र पूरा दुनिया का लोग, कोरोना वायरस जितना देश में गया है उससे ज्यादा जगह पे हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र ऑलरेडी चला गया श्रीला प्रभुपाद की कृपा से। तुम एक मंत्र आविष्कार करो और उस मंत्र से तुम अपने परिवार को लोग को ही अट्रैक्ट करके दिखाओ, फॉरगेट अबाउट द होल वर्ल्ड। सो ये हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र जो है ये कोई ऑर्डिनरी चीज नहीं, और again and again I'm telling, when you chant and when you apply in your life, you will only understand it. किसी को मान लीजिए कोई विदेशी आया है, विदेशी गुलाब जामुन नहीं जानता है, गुलाब जामुन कैसा होता है नहीं जानता, वो फॉरेनर प्रश्न पूछ रहा है हमसे, गुलाब जामुन कैसे होता है, हम बोला मीठा होता है, गुलाब जामुन दिखता कैसे, हम बोला गोल दिखता है, राउंड दिखता है, गुलाब जामुन का भीतर में क्या रहता है, केमिकल कॉम्पोजिशन क्या रहता है, उसको हम पूरा डिस्क्राइब कर दिया, उसको केमिकल कॉम्पोजिशन भी लिख दिया उसको पेपर में। हमसे हजार को प्रश्न पूछते ही जा रहे, तो हमको तब क्या बोलना पड़ेगा कि भाई तुम गुलाब जामुन खाओ, तुम खुद समझ जाओगे, गुलाब जामुन खाओ, एवरीथिंग विल अंडरस्टैंड। सिमिलरली चैंटिंग के बारे में भी सेम चीज है। व्हेन यू चैंट, अगर आप चैंटिंग करते हैं तो आप खुद ही समझ जाएंगे कि how beautiful and how easily you can connect with Krishna by this chanting. ये दूसरे किसी को सर्टिफिकेट देने का जरूरत नहीं है। जैसे गुलाब जामुन का हजारों डिस्क्रिप्शन मैं दे दूंगा फिर भी समझ में नहीं आएगा, अगर एक गुलाब जामुन खा लेगा उसको खुद ब खुद समझ में आ जाएगा। Similarly chanting also, if we don't chant and only if we keep on asking that what is the effect and this and that, never will one understand, कभी भी अंडरस्टैंड नहीं कर पाए। गुलाब जामुन के बारे में चाहे हजार को इंफॉर्मेशन उसको दे दिया जाए, कभी भी गुलाब जामुन को समझ नहीं पाए जब तक वो एक गुलाब जामुन नहीं खा रहा। सिमिलरली चैंटिंग के माध्यम से भी अगर हम लोग रेगुलरली चैंटिंग कर रहे हैं तो उसको खुद ब खुद समझ में आ जाएगा। बाहर का किसी लोगों को सर्टिफिकेट देने का जरूरत नहीं है। इसीलिए इस बात पे मैं बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रेस दे रहा हूँ कि practice this chanting. Everything you will understand by that only. So when you get that taste, nobody else will have to come and tell you. So that is very essential. तो हम लोग को वो कष्ट करना पड़ेगा, नहीं तो कोई फायदा नहीं। चैंटिंग हम लोग को सुबह में वो टाइम देना ही पड़ेगा, चाहे कितना भी हम लोग को डिफिकल्टी लगे, स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ में तो वही है, डिफिकल्टी लगेगा. पॉइजन एट द बिगिनिंग, नेक्टर एट द एंड. और मेटेरियल सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन क्या है? पहले बहुत आनंद लगेगा, उसके बाद फिर पिटाई चालू होगा. So therefore we need to first commit ourselves. हम लोगों को पहले अपने आप के साथ कमिटमेंट करना है. हमको सुबह में चाहे कितना भी प्रॉब्लम हो, आई विल लीव द चैंट. इतना ऑनेस्टी तो अपने आप से करना ही करना. Otherwise nothing is going to happen. This is the most essential. इसलिए मैं पहले भी आज को बोल रहा हूँ. It is not only the best, it is the most essential. इसलिए अभी आप लोगों से यही उम्मीद किया जाता है कि आप लोग every day you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and attend the Sunday programs. That's it. That is the only spiritual thing right now is expected. Not much. There are many other experiences, but due to lockdown, it's not possible to give those experiences. And do your duties nicely. Every day, Sunday के सिवाय every day, Sunday में आप लोग का छुट्टी रहता है, कॉलेज भी छुट्टी रहता है, वर्किंग जो कंपनी में काम करता है वो लोग को भी छुट्टी रहता है. संडे इसलिए आप लोग का प्रोग्राम होता है. और दूसरे दिन आप चैटिंग कीजिए और अपना पढ़ाई कीजिए, अपना जॉब कीजिए अच्छे से. और संडे में चैटिंग कीजिए और ये प्रोग्राम सेमिनार अटेंड कीजिए. अरे बस दैट्स इट. You have to keep the things very simple. You don't need to make complex. So, does that answer your question? Devabrata Shubham. Hello. Hare Krishna, Devabrata. Are you able to hear?
I think he's on mute, sir. I think so.
No, you can unmute. Devabrata, শুনতে পাচ্ছো? হরে কৃষ্ণ.
হ্যাঁ প্রভু শুনতে পাচ্ছি, বলুন.
হ্যাঁ, এটাতে অ্যানসারটা কি বুঝতে পারলে?
হ্যাঁ প্রভু, অ্যান্সারটা আমি এটাই বুঝলাম যে এই ক্যান্টিং এবং এই জপের মাধ্যমে বা এই যোগের মাধ্যমে আমাদের মধ্যে সবচেয়ে শ্রেষ্ঠ হচ্ছে জ্ঞান যোগ, এই ভক্তি যোগ. তো ভক্তি যোগের মাধ্যমে আমরা ভগবানের সঙ্গে একাত্ম হতে পারবো.
তো চ্যান্টিং করছো দেবব্রত?
হ্যাঁ প্রভু, চ্যান্টিং করছি প্রভু. সবসময় মানে হচ্ছে না, মানে আমি করতে চাইছি কিন্তু ওই 4 রাউন্ড 5 রাউন্ডের বেশি প্রভু করতে পারছি না. মানে যেটুকু সময় পাচ্ছি সেইটুকুনি আর কি করতে পারছি.
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে. এই যে আর রেগুলারলি করবো, যতটুকু করছো রেগুলারলি. ধরো ওই 5 রাউন্ড চ্যান্ট করছো, 5 রাউন্ডের থেকে যাতে না কমে. ঠিক আছে, এইটা দেখছো প্রভু. রেগুলারলি. It's not that we leave chanting any day. Must be done every day. That is important. Okay.
Okay, Prabhu.
My time.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
I am
Hare Krishna.
I am leaving right now. So I've exceeded my time. I have to go to some place. This work is there. So okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Prabhu.
That we called you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, respected sir.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, sir.
Till yesterday night, he was not there, but today last moment he has come. So we thank him a lot. And I am one more time presenting my screen. So all of you, आप सब लोग देख पाएंगे. सब लोग मेरा screen देख पा रहे, right?
Yeah, sir. Yeah, I can see.
Okay. So this is the Spurty, the Utkarsha festival, which will be starting on 20th September. Okay. So I have already announced before also a very, very beautiful session. This will be seminar with these topics of reincarnation, creation कैसे हुआ था. It was described 5,000 years ago कि creation में कौन सा planet है, कैसे हुआ था, details, everything was there. and it is still there in the scriptures. Then rekindling wisdom, reviving love, then ideal worship versus idol worship. These are very, very important topics. Nature of mind, mind कैसे हमको cheat करता है, how can we control our mind? Very, very important topic. Jet age, Gurukul, then Krishna's incarnation and his sweet pastimes. So all these sessions will be there, taken by different speakers. We have arranged for you, Professor Gautam Paul, then Shubhak Sen sir, myself, then Premanand Chaitanya Prabhu, Mahadam Vrindavan Prabhu. So I request you all that I will be sending you the registration link for this. So you all register for this, as well as you can invite your friends and your brothers, anyone who is interested. You can give this knowledge to them. They will be also very, very happy. Like Ritvik has invited his friend Avinash, and he also has a very good realization. So really appreciate that. So everyone, please invite your friends as well in this. So this is the announcement for the coming festival. And one more thing, that all of you, please send your email IDs to your coordinators. हम लोग आप सब लोग को कोर्स सर्टिफिकेट्स सेंड करेंगे, तो आप सब लोग प्लीज अपना email IDs अपने coordinators को सेंड कर दीजिएगा. Those who are having 80% plus attendance, they will be getting the certificates, and all the participants will get special gifts. तो also आप सब लोग आपका घर का एड्रेस जहाँ पर अभी आप रह रहे हैं, you just send your address, WhatsApp it to your coordinators, so they will be sending you the gifts. Okay, this is important announcement. And also MMC होने, all of you know the MMCs are happening, right? So Thursday you will have MMC as usual. Nitai Engineering College will have in the morning, Thursday morning. Other colleges will have Thursday evening MMC. You are all able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes.
Correct. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So Thursday evening, other colleges will have MMC. और उसके अलावा also your coordinators will be keeping one MMC apart from Thursday, एक और दिन, so that your chanting will be improving and it will become more strong. Okay. So one day will be Thursday, common for all of you, and one day you will have MMC separately with your coordinators, so that you can improve your chanting very nicely. And Sunday, as usual, you will be having this session morning 10:30. Okay. And इसके अलावा जो quiz 7 है, उसका link मैं आज आप सब लोगों को send कर दूंगा. Your coordinators will send the link to all of you. So quiz 7 last date is Thursday. और जो movie है हरे कृष्णा movie, that will be also till Thursday only. हम लोग Thursday कोई movie निकाल देंगे YouTube से. We will remove the movie from YouTube on Thursday. So अगर आप लोगों ने वो movie नहीं देखा है, so please watch that movie. Your quiz questions 14 marks इसी movie से आने वाला है, and then remaining 5 marks will come from power of association session. Okay, so please take the quiz seriously. And now I request Harmeet to please show the MMC chanting rounds of the other college students.
Okay, thank you. So I'm sharing my screen with everybody. Okay. So is my screen visible to everybody?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So I hope you have enjoyed this session and you have learned lots of lessons today. I hope you will keep up chanting as advised by Subhak Sen Prabhu. So I'm just starting with the coordinators. Okay, so I will start with myself first. So there are 14 students whom I am just coordinating. So first is Sangram, who is chanting 8 rounds. Accordingly, I'm also presenting the last Sunday's attendance. Okay, so this is LSA1. LSA1 represents last session's first attendance and last session's second attendance. Okay, so you will be able to see whether your attendance is progressive or not. So starting with Sangram. Sangram, you are present in all the classes. Thank you. So you are doing well. You are chanting 8 rounds. So I think you have promised to chant 12 rounds. So please try to take up chanting. Okay. So just you are doing very consistent. Sangram, are you here?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then Antara Chaudhary, you are chanting 6 rounds. Very good.
So keep this consistency, maintain this consistency. Anish Kumar Hela. Anish Kumar Hela, 4 rounds. Okay, Anish, please keep on chanting, and I hope you will increase your rounds within few days. Dipajit Kundu, who is chanting 4 rounds. Gulshan Kumar, I think Gulshan Kumar is not present here. Gulshan is chanting 2 rounds. Kaustubh Tripathi is not yet fixed. Sometimes he chants 4 rounds, 6 or 8 and 12. So Kaustubh, I request you to chant fixed rounds, fixed number of rounds. Whether you are chanting 8 rounds, please maintain the fixed rounds. Subhabrata Paul is chanting 4 rounds. So Subhabrata, you are very consistent. You are chanting 4 rounds daily and you are sending the reports very good. So I would request you to chant at least a few more rounds. So it will help you to balance your life in spiritually both and materially. Mintu Haldar, you have not yet started chanting. Mintu, are you here? Okay. Mintu, please take up chanting and start soon. As already advised by Subhash and Prabhu, and we have been advertising since the very first day of the classes. So it will help you very spiritually and materially. Okay. So Amar Sankalpa was not present. Bala Murugan not present. Anuj Sarthi was not present. Ashutosh Ojha. So Ashutosh Ojha, you have not yet started chanting. So if you have any doubts, please contact me. I'll talk to you in the evening. Ankit Gupta is present here. So Ankit Gupta, I'll talk to you in the evening regarding chanting. Okay. Thank you. I'll just go next to coordinator Subhajit. So Sanjay Patra, who was used to chant 8 rounds, now he's chanting 10 rounds. Well done, Sanjay Patra. Maintain this consistency. Okay. Saurabh is chanting 8 rounds. Be consistent, Saurabh. You are doing well. Gaura Hari Bhunia, Shubhranshu Muri and Devabrata are chanting 8 rounds, 6 rounds and 6 rounds respectively. Devabrata, you used to chant 5 rounds, now you are chanting 6 rounds very well. This shows that you are very consistent and sincere. So keep this process up. Okay. Sukanto Paul is chanting 4 rounds. Gopal is chanting 4 rounds. Both. Please, Gopal and Sukanto, please maintain consistency. Okay, and keep on reporting to your coordinator. I will give special thanks to Akash and Tarun, especially to Tarun Shah, because he used to chant 2 rounds. Now he is chanting 4 rounds. Really well done, Tarun Shah. Please maintain this consistency. It will help you a lot. Akash, you used to chant 4 rounds. Now you are doing 6 rounds. Very good. I appreciate Akash. I'll come to Govinda. Govinda, you chant 2 rounds, but it is not yet fixed. So please talk to your coordinator Subhajit, and whatever necessary help you require, you please talk to him, and please keep fixed your chanting. I would request you to chant at least 4 rounds daily. If it is not happening, please at least be fixed with 2 rounds, and slowly you progress. Okay. Ritik and Mithilesh are chanting 4 rounds respectively. But in the last class, they were not present, and I hope in this class you are present. Ritik and Mithilesh. Okay. So I'll go to the next coordinator, Siddharth. I'll start with Akash De. Akash De, you are chanting only 1 round. So are you here, Akash De?
No, he's not here.
Okay. Then Ayan Kumar is chanting 4 rounds. Okay, Ayan, be very good. Please maintain this consistency. Keep on chanting this consistent rounds and keep on reporting your coordinator. Ronak Doshi is chanting 25 rounds. Very well, Ronak Doshi. You are inspiration to all the participants here, and you are very consistent in the classes also. I appreciate Ronak Doshi. Devaranjan is chanting 4 rounds. Very good, Devaranjan. Please maintain this consistency. It will help you a lot. Then Sagar Mandal, Sauradip Ghosh, Prakash Yadav, Sandeep Mahato, and Apurva Parthe. All these participants are not chanting, so I would request